Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, there was a hedgehog named Harold.
And where did he live?
He lived in Hedgehog Nation.
And what was his life like there? Did he have any siblings?
Harold only has 2 brothers that are older than him.
What are their names?
Billy and Ben.
Tell me about the biggest problem in Harold's life.
Well, everybody was older than Harold because he was the youngest in like the whole Hedgehog Nation. And you usually get spikes when you're like 4 or 5 in Hedgehog Nation. And he was only 2 or 3, so he didn't have his spikes.
Did he have like baby spikes?
Yeah. Harold's spikes were all flappy in the wind, and they weren't that tan color. They were a white color because they were made out of paper, and they weren't sharp. They were probably like a butter knife.
And why did Harold want spikes?
Because everybody else had spikes, and he felt jealous and like he was different than everybody else. He didn't want to be different. He wanted to be the same.
This jealousy of other people's spikes was made worse by his brothers, who would tease him.
They were like, ha ha, you're too little to get spikes. And they were talking behind his back and at him.
And as a result,
he got really red in the face and he started sweating, like he was really nervous and embarrassed. He would run away and he'd start like crying and getting really nervous and embarrassed and annoyed.
And how did it feel in his body, all those feelings?
Like butterflies and like he was gonna faint or throw up.
Then one day by the woodpile, Harold had an idea.
He thought like, oh, I should make my own spikes so I don't have to be different like everybody else. So he went to the crafting store in Hedgehog Nation and he bought like all the supplies with hedgehog money, which are just like little sticks.
So he took all these supplies back on his bicycle and back to his bedroom.
And started just working like for 2 days straight, not taking any breaks to make the spikes. He takes little pine needles and he'll cut them into little pieces and then he'll stick the little pine needles in the piece of paper.
And how did it look when he was finished?
It looked kind of weird because it didn't look like all the other people's spikes. They were all like waving around and it was really heavy on his back, so he was like crouching down and he couldn't really walk. And he went outside and everybody, because there was a speech going on by like the mayor, and the mayor actually was like, oh my gosh. And everybody went like, and they saw him and he was like, what do you think? And they all started like making him feel bad. They were like, those aren't real spikes. They look so bad on you.
And how'd this make Harold feel?
It made him feel really embarrassed and sad and angry. So he like ran really fast away and he started kind of crying. Then he got his emergency backpack.
What's that?
The emergency emotional calming backwear is a special backpack that Harold made to make his emotions stop overtaking him so he could calm down a little more than if he didn't have it.
And what was in his backpack?
Wee Poppets.
Pizza, bananas, noodles, probably his soccer ball.
Like a Rubik's Cube, definitely a stress ball. I love stress balls.
And then he has a bunch of other backpacks for different things.
How many backpacks does he have in total?
8. 1 for food and water, 1 for school, 1 for all his fishing rods, 1 for party supplies for his friends when he makes birthday parties for them, And the last one is for when he gets to take care of other animals, like baby hedgehogs.
I think you're at 6. You have 2 more backpacks.
Oh,
And well, of course, the self-care backpack.
yeah, the self-care backpack. And then the last one is for like deep cleaning backpack, because he's a very clean hedgehog.
As he's a hedgehog, so he has a mini backpack. So he would have like a mini radio.
And then what are the sounds that come out of the radio station?
Rain falling, wind blowing, ocean like waves.
So how does this story end for Harold?
He calms down with his backpack and he finds out that, yeah, it's okay that he has no spikes yet and he'll get them soon. So then he runs to his brothers and family and he says, I'm different and that's okay. And then he runs all the way to Turtleville and he tells his friend Flash that. The end.
So this might seem like a very simple story about a boy and his spikes. But why did we go to all this trouble to film this movie? Well, this whole hedgehog extravaganza with mayors and townspeople was all to remind you that when you're having a hard time and feeling alone, it really does help to find something calming from your own hedgehog backpack that will help you return to the present moment and wait for those feelings to pass. It can be hard, but if you need a reminder, think of us, the people who made this movie, as you try to calm yourself down. We'll be with you, cheering you on.